Hello everybody, welcome to this video titled Exploring and Navigating Business Central. This is part 3 of a 3-part series. My name is Craig Kreskis. I'm a partner solution architect here at Microsoft, and I want to say thank you for being a part of this training series. Again, this is all about how to increase partner knowledge as you're going to market and building out your demonstration skills. So I did break up the Exploring Navigation into 3 parts just because it's lengthy, but it yet also offers just some great tool tips and navigations for you as a partner to learn about how to do demos. And so you could see on the screen here the 3 different videos. The first was just all about the power of the homepage. The second on the list pages. Part 3 will be focused on data entry, how you can show increased productivity to prospects and customers, and also just some of the shortcuts, the help, and troubleshooting areas that are built into Business Central. So let's get started. I'll talk about first data entry and increasing productivity. When you open up Business Central, you can come in here open up the tile and go to sales orders, and you can open up a sales order. And a couple things to point out on the screen if you're new to Business Central. First, we always want to communicate to end users. They know that the data they're entering in has been saved. There is no save diskette. There's no save icon. It's automatically being saved to and committed to the database. Also, sometimes people like to have a multiple windows open or work side by side, so they can take out, for example, the sales order and move that onto a separate screen. It's still being part of and committed to Business Central. You can also enter in focus mode. So this is this little icon here, number 3, where as I'm entering in data, maybe I want a little more real estate, so I can go ahead and enter in the multiple line items. If you're done, you can close out and go into exit out of focus mode. Now, another few areas I want to highlight with you is in the line items section. You could see I've got your attention drawn to the select items. This is where you can do multi-select, non-contiguous line. So I can hold down my shift key and add certain lines. If I clicked OK, you can see that I'm able to put in those. So it's, again, a way for me to enter data very quickly. Now, with Copilot as part of that experience, people who are doing data entry can take advantage of the suggest sales line items. Here is where I can go ahead and type in what it is I want to enter into the field, and Copilot will generate that line item for me. Now, you can always take advantage of the prompt guide. So by selecting here, you can use some of the pre-built categories or pre-built definitions. Or in my case here, I just said add 4 Mexico chairs. When I click on generate and then insert, you can see how simple and easy that was, that it created the 4 Mexico chairs. Whereas some of the other areas I showed you in terms of increased productivity, I still need to add the data entry. If I come into settings and personalize, another way in which you can make your data entry very simple is on the personalization field. Once you have personalization mode enabled, find that red triangle, select it, and then you could say exclude from quick entry. And what we do in the workshops as I build out my screen is I have partners, all these pre-sales engineers, go into every one of the fields and make certain that they are excluded from quick entry, including the bottom here, the line item where you're putting in the line type. Then once you're done, you'll select on done and go ahead and create a new sales order. Choose your customer, select OK. Then when you choose your keyboard key on the enter, it will shortcut to the last area in which you have not available for quick entry. So to repeat, I had you go through all the different fields in the header of that form, including the line type, and then when you select on enter, it automatically goes. So for me as an end user, I can then start to enter in data inside of Business Central. So again, that's just a couple of different ideas for you as you're doing keyboard strokes. I know when I present to customers years and years ago, they were always counting the click. They were always wanting to know how many mouse clicks it took to perform their job. So these are just some examples as you're exploring Business Central, you can highlight to increase their productivity. Now, as I mentioned, there's two parts here. The next is the shortcuts and help, just so you can understand what you have access to. If you choose on the items, you can see here I can click on help. This is kind of the precursor before we had Copilot introduced. And you could just type in, for example, item attributes, and it'll show you all the results and details around that just to learn more. And you could back out, you could hit help and support. And you can see here for me to troubleshoot, I can start to see all the fields that are on a particular page. I can see any extensions, which are essentially applications that have been installed here. And you can see I purposely selected the item page because I knew I had some base application along with, say, for example, the sales and inventory forecast installed. If I hit help and support again, you can see here, will it open up into the docs.microsoft.com page. And also, you can take advantage of the shortcut keys. We've got a link for you if you wanted to learn more about all of the different shortcut keys that, again, as you as a pre-sales engineer want to make sure you're showing Business Central in a way that just makes the product look easy. Again, some of the ones that I use quite often, Control-C, Control-V. Obviously, the Alt-Q is probably one I use the most, and of course, the search or filter in F3. When you go out to that page, you can also, if you want to print out, or maybe this is a takeaway, if you wanted to share that with an audience in a live setting, you can show them all of the shortcut keyboards that are available to them in Business Central. And then the last thing I'm going to do, it's just sort of the end of a section, is you can go in and personalize and become theme aware. So you select on settings, and again, if the customer has a theme that they're using across their Microsoft 365 account, or maybe you can use something that just shows rainbows and unicorns as a way just to how Business Central just kind of follows the theme across their other applications. With that, I want to say thank you so much again. This was the third video in a 3-part series on just exploring navigation within Business Central. I want to say thank you so much for your time. And my name is Craig. I look forward to seeing you again on a video real soon.